Alright, we got the 1140 spoilers, and we are in fact seeing Luffy versus Gaban in this chapter, and surprisingly, it's going pretty much how we expected. And we're also seeing 2 more God Knights show up on Elbaf. We're actually getting descriptions of them and what devil fruits they could have. Pretty exciting stuff, so let's just get into it. So, Luffy versus Gaban. Gaban controls the fight and hits Luffy several times. So, coming over the previous chapter, we saw Luffy, Zoro, and Nami with Road come across Gaban, the third in command of the Roger Pirates, or the Sanchi of the Roger Pirates, essentially. And after some introductories, we found out that he has the key to unlock Loki, which Luffy wants, so they made a deal. Scopper was like, hey, if you can get this key from me, you can take it. You know, goes without saying. But that was the whole setup for their fight, and it's happening here, and Gaban is controlling the fight and hits Luffy several times. So we were talking about this, and this is essentially what we expected. Now, Luffy, I guess, is in base form at first, because it's not pointed out by Pew here that he's transforming or anything. And I like this. I think this is what should happen. Scopper should get elevated by this, of course, you know, same way that Rayleigh was elevated back on Sabaody, but we shouldn't be placing Scopper in like a Yonko tier or anything, you know, and we'll get into that with this next part of the spoilers, because Luffy is frustrated, so he activates Gear 5. Zoro joins Luffy to fight, but Gaban suddenly surrenders and gives them the key. Alright, so this is more or less what we also expected. Not the Zoro part, which I'll get into, but Luffy going Gear 5 because he is frustrated. Of course, Scopper has no chance against this, and I really wouldn't have liked it if Scopper could just beat down Gear 5. Now, that still could happen. We still have to go over the full chapter and the full summary tomorrow, so there might be some little tidbits there that allude or just straight up tell us that Scopper can overcome Gear 5 for some reason. Not saying it is, put it out there, but we're talking about it, and there is no reason Scopper should be on the level of Gear 5. It just wouldn't make sense. But like Gear 4, maybe he could compete against that. Now, Zoro joining in here with Luffy Gear 5, Gaban surrendering. It's like everything makes sense here. I mean, really, surprisingly makes sense. And this could happen all the time, but it just doesn't. Luffy and Zoro, or just the Straw Hats in general, should just run gang on people, because they would just dominate if they did that. It's always like, oh, we gotta fight 1v1, or the weaklings gotta team up. I mean, that one time we got Nami and Luffy teaming up to take on Cracker, which was amazing, but I just wish we got more moments like that. Like, it just doesn't have to be the little weaklings teaming up to fight people. It can be like the gods coming together and fighting too, and just overwhelming their opponent and just dominating. I mean, just because they're good guys doesn't mean they can't, you know, fight smart and like team up. It's not like an inherently bad thing to do. It's just smart. Especially Luffy and Zoro, which we hardly really ever see in the series happen that much. But then Gaban surrendering, as he should. He's fighting, you know, essentially Roger and Rayleigh at the same time. It's over. But it's also very possible that Scopper knows that 2 more Holy Knights are showing up on Elbaf, which we're going to get into, and that's why he's like, okay, we got to stop fighting, we got to take care of this, you know, as a way to protect him as well. And now he's given them the key, which is great, because now Loki can finally get unlocked. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it is now at least. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with a wide depth and breadth of topics ranging from illustration, graphic design, photography, to music, marketing, productivity, and much more. It has thousands of creative classes in countless categories, ranging from beginner to advanced. So guys, I genuinely love Skillshare. It has helped me a lot, and I think it can help you a lot too, especially if you are aspiring to be, let's say, a YouTuber like me, because I've been taking the YouTube success script, shoot, and edit with MKBHD. I personally love Marcus's YouTube channel. I've been following it for years, so I was excited to take his class, which really helped me with planning my videos, shooting compelling content, and especially editing my footage, and mainly growing my channel strategically, but while
while still having fun. So guys, if you're looking to level up your 2025 by finally trying to learn that skill you've been wanting to, you can check my link in the description, because the first 500 people to use my link will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Thanks, guys.
Gunko creates a magic circle called Abyss in a forest, and then she summons 2 God Knights. Wow. Okay, so this whole magic circle thing is called Abyss, and it could just be done by anyone. I mean, I guess Emu does play a part in this. Maybe she taught it to Gunko or something, but now we know some more stuff about it. The first one is Saint Summers of House Shepherd, the same name as Jupiter from the Gorosei. He's a big man with long hair, beard, and glasses. Okay, new God Knight here, and it turns out that he is a part of Jupiter's family. I mean, I'm not going to say he's Jupiter's son because, you know, the Gorosei are like over 800 years old at this point, so unless Saint Summers also has whatever kind of immortality that Emu is putting on the Gorosei, I'm assuming that this is like his great-great-great-great-great-grandson or whatever. But that's all the information we're getting on this one for now. However, the second one is Saint Gillingham of House Lemotive, and it seems that he has the mythical Kieran power because he appears in hybrid human Kieran form. Wow, that's a pretty big development. Now, before we go any further, let me just say I don't think we've been introduced to a Lemotive before, so this is like a new celestial dragon family, I think. But the mythical Kieran here is really interesting because this was one of the speculated Gorosei devil fruits, because when we first saw Saturn's fruit and we saw that it was a yokai, we started assuming that all the other Gorosei had yokais, and we were right, and we thought, oh, maybe one of them is the Kieran, but no, it was actually the Bakotsu belonging to Venus. But now this guy, Saint Gillingham, is the Kieran. So according to yokai.com, Kieran is one of the rarest, most awesome and powerful creatures ever known in East Asia. It is a regal animal, holy and highly revered. The Kieran is often considered a god in its own right, resembling a deer with scales like a dragon's covering its body. The Kieran is a chimerical beast. It has a tail like an ox and a flowing mane. Its body and mane are covered in brilliant, holy fire, and its face is the picture of utter serenity. So yeah, there you go. We'll go more into this tomorrow once we get more information on it. But yeah, 2 new Holy Knights here and a possible devil fruit from them, which is really exciting. Shamrock asks why 2 God Knights appear when they only need 1. And Gillingham explains that Shamrock must return to Mary Joie. At the end of the chapter, Shamrock says that they will make a game in Elbaf. Whoa, that's also exciting. So Shamrock has to go back to Mary Joie because plot. You know, like, they don't need 4 Holy Knights there. And we can wait for the whole Shamrock reveal to the Straw Hats and everyone else. So it's fine that Gunko, Saint Summers, and Gillingham are here. That's more than enough. But Shamrock saying that they're going to make a game in Elbaf, I assume they're talking about the God Valley hunting game, right? Which was called the Native Hunting Competition, where, as the name implies, they hunt natives. Or they just kill anyone that's not a celestial dragon, essentially, and they get points for it. So I'm assuming they're going to do this on Elbaf. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Like I said, we're going to go way more into this, into the full summary tomorrow. So subscribe for that if you haven't already. And let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.